Finding out that Ape Escape Big Mission exists makes you feel like you're at the beach and shovel a hole to find a hidden treasure. Your eyes will lighten up, and for a few hours your life will finally be fulfilling again, since you get to play a new Ape Escape game, something you will never be able to experience again, that is fairly close to the mainline games. The twist is you don't actually really play as a human but as the apes. Once upon a time we were all apes, so it fits. The PSP is home to tons of spin-off games that I wanted to make a video about, but when I played this one I had enough fun with it that I thought, hey, this one would deserve its own whole video and not just be squeezed together with amazing titles such as the Ape Escape Kart Racer, where I can already spoil you that it's not that great. You got Jack and Ratchet in it though, just like how they also appeared in Ape Escape Move. The golden age of Sony jumpin' ones. We have to let go of it, that will never return. It never got released outside of Japan and it really made me wonder why. It's almost as if Sony wanted a reason to kill this franchise as hard as they could, and did. Just spamming spin-off after spin-off to see what sticks, with most of them not even releasing here for Sparker Gaijins and White Pigs. Don't worry though if you can't speak Japanese, you will be able to understand everything just fine since it's so simple. That's the whole point of jumpin' ones after all, everyone can pick them up because you jump and run. Maybe also take control of the monkeys sometimes. Just the opening cutscene of it already made me sit there and think, why can't we have more Ape Escape again? The animation, the colors, Natsumi in tight jeans. Watching it makes you happy, that goes for all of the cutscenes and there's a whole bunch. It's like seeing your family members again, even the ones you have forgotten about. The ones that make you realize how lame you are doing while they talk about their exciting lives and you sit there and wonder, where did I go so wrong? Have video games and anime girls really ruined my life this much? That's who Hikaru is for me. He's just Kakeru again from the first game, but uncooler. What a little dweeb. This is why Ape Escape 2 will always be the worst out of these 3 mainline games. It's still a good game though. Everyone's favorite albino monkey is also here. Spectre wants to take over the world, again. Who could have guessed? This time he built a giant cannon to shrink every Ape Escape main character so they can't get into his way. He's so smart, isn't he? I would like to pet him and call him a good boy. Even though then another human would just become the next main character and so on. Maybe he shrink down every human, who knows, you don't actually get to see any except the main ones. The freaky monkey 5 are also back and have taken the others as their prisoners. Luckily for some reason Natsumi's and her granddad's house was built in such a way that they can turn it into a helmet to take over the monkeys. I mean, they had to deal with them a lot already, so it's not a super duper unrealistic thing to do to make sure it can do that, I guess. The insurance on that can't be cheap though. That's your job now, manipulate those dumb monkeys by hopping onto their heads and take them over. I wonder if that feels bad or good. Mindbreak is all the rage nowadays after all, or is it already outdated? Who knows anymore, trends change basically every day. Losing control of your own body must be kinda scary. Luckily I never had any sleep paralysis, so far. You can already guess what the goal here is, right? They have different abilities that you have to use to get to the end of the stage with, and bonking that helmet onto them marks them as caught. So if you want to, you can go back and get that monkey again if the next part seems to be easier with them. No worries, the game always gives you the monkey you need right before a section, so you don't have to backtrack ever. You can already see a good example of it right in the second stage. These lily pads go down way too fast when walking over them normally, oh no. I wonder how much I can hold in real life. Since I'm only 5'2" and weigh 45 kilograms, it feels like I could easily run over them too, probably. Luckily there's a fast as hell monkey you can snatch up and run over them. Who is really easy to catch when you have this ape who can hide. But what's that, a mermaid? So you can swim and don't drown like I almost did when my dad threw me into the pool? He actually never did that, but you know that old boomer mindset. There's at least one person watching this who probably had to learn swimming that way. Don't do that as a dad or mom unless you want to end up in an elderly home one day and get no visits from your kids. Now you can decide, do you want to be fast as fuckboy in one or take the mermaid and just swim instead? I was a mermaid fan since day one when I played Link's Awakening as a kid and had to get her bra back. I will forever blame Americans for them changing it in every following release of the game. With the mermaid you can even dive. I have to admit I have never dived without one of those swimming goggles. Monkeys can have up to 2 abilities, wow. Most of them have a really unique ability and one where they punch or do a different kind of attack so you can stun the other monkey to catch them. You got pretty basic ones like boxer monkeys that have a strong punch that can even punch trees. Don't do that, be nice to nature. The ones you will recognize from movies like Indiana Ape who can use his lasso to get over the endless abyss. Don't look down into it, you know what happens if you do. It's one of the most overquoted quotes after all. But why use a lame lasso if you can just become Dracula and fly over it? Look at him go, being so carefree. Don't ride Dracula backwards, it will blow your mind. Or turn on the candles on top of a birthday cake. I never had an actual birthday cake for mine. Normally the levels in the Ape Escape games are big and have multiple paths you can take to decide what monkey you want to catch. Do I go to the left area or to the right first? Only rarely are you shoved into a linear hallway, like back in school whenever you had to change your classroom and your bros would push you against one of the lockers to do certain things with you since you were the designated submissive bro for a little break before math class to get rid of some stress. That's different here, it's the Metroid Prime 4 of the Ape Escape games. You go from A to B and that's it. It's the game's biggest issue, being way too straight, and I say this as a straight guy. That's the second video in a row I dropped this line, I need new material. That also means it's pretty easy to catch all the apes on your first playthrough of the game, but fear not. They are doing the usual thing they usually do. We will put more into the levels after you have beaten the game once, so you can go play all stages again for 2 or 3 monkeys more. You may even get a whole new final boss. But with such linear levels it makes you wonder, do I really want to? In 3 for example, or basically in any Ape Escape, you also can't get them all on your first visit unless you got more and more gadgets and transformations. And then they shove even more monkeys in there. It's fun to revisit them now to use your whole arsenal, like going to Grandma's place on Christmas every year to get more cash and presents. Here it makes you think you have to hang out with your weird creepy uncle instead. You do it anyways because you have nothing better to do. Often I went through the levels and got them all without even trying to catch them all because they're all on the way. Only later in the game I would sometimes miss 1 or 2 and it made me wonder, oh, I wonder how I missed it. Is this how smart people in school felt like? Going through life without putting effort into it and getting rewarded for it? Of course not. Even those people worked hard. Talent is not a real thing. You need to put your full support into the things you want to do to be able to achieve great things. Here not. The game does allow you a little bit of freedom. But it's more like, yes, you can post slurs online, but you will get fired for them if you get reported at your workplace. That kind of freedom. Like earlier where I talked about the mermaid. In this part I could take the monkey who can produce wind to blow the fan to take that path, but it has enemies on there, how dangerous. So instead I can catch the bunny and then just do a sick jump to skip those enemies. Is that really freedom? It is an illusion because you get to the same place either way. A little bit of an extra actually would have made it more interesting, like putting another platform here to jump onto where monkey sits on, maybe add a simple 1-up. A problem I always had with the Ape Escape games is that most normal enemies feel weak. Did you ever die to a normal enemy in these games? Probably not. They are often also really spaced out so they feel even weaker. It's always the apes that make you die here and there because they spam rockets or shoot you lots. That is a bit different here. Even though some monkeys also will make you consider ending it all like these bikers. They are so fast and when you finally hit them with your weak monkey, the animation of them being stunned is so short that you don't even get a chance to catch them before they will already drive away again. Not to mention the ice makes everything slippery in this level that makes it even worse. But that's life. Ever tried running on ice? That will happen to you too. Back to the enemy spam problem, take a look at this. You got a biker driving you over, you got a space cop flying around shooting you, and 4 little normal enemies, and if you try to take them out one by one, you will surely get hit and get ejected over and over. At least the monkeys can't die, so if you quickly catch them again, you are basically impossible to kill unless your ball helmet gets damaged and then it's over. Replay the stage. Unless you have a spare battery that counts as an extra life. You might call this a skill issue, but the game has a bunch of sections where it just throws so many enemies at you that it's really annoying and you get hit and hit and hit while feeling there's nothing you can do. The famous words from the world's best gamer. If you end up playing this game yourself, you will feel this despair sometimes. I can bet on it with you. I will give you $2 if you can make it through it without ever being annoyed. Don't lie to me though please, I can't take more of that in my life. So people who are always complaining about the enemy spam in Dark Souls 2, don't play this game. Aside from those little moments, it's way too easy because the game sadly never really explores puzzles that make you think. It's a game for kids after all, like most jumpin' ones, even if us men children don't want that to be true. We want some crazy difficulty Mario, but then you realize Nintendo sees it as something for kids, not 56-year-old men like me and you. And no, Mario was always pretty easy if we ignore lost levels and maybe Hell in Mario Bros. 3. It went to Baby Gaga Gugu difficulty starting with Land 2 and World and never went back up. One level at the end does not change that. Look at this golden monkey can do 2 dance moves with square and circle. So you have to stand on the platform and watch the others dance and repeat their moves, simple summon says stuff. You would think you have to press the buttons first to see what move is what, right? No, you don't even have to memorize what the two buttons do. The door shows you what button to press anyways, so they won't even let you think about that. Even as a creature that still poops their pants, I would be able to do this. That goes for all of the puzzles. Maybe they wanted to make the puzzles easy enough to make real monkeys being able to solve them too, because they could easily. The bosses themselves are also kinda puzzly, mostly if you want to kill them faster. You can just take one of the monkeys given to you and smash them, but all of them have plans to hurt them even more and doing it faster that way. You could aim at Monkey Blue and just endlessly try to shoot him till he gets defeated. Or you could grab your lasso and pull him onto the platform to smash him with a hammer that deals more damage. Wanna get rid of the fat faster? Just press the button to slice him in half with a knife instead of just punching him over and over. Melee in general seems to melt the bosses way more than shots, especially on Spectre's fight. I shot and shot and shot, and he just took it, but the second I spin a hammer through him, boom. I changed the screen here a little bit because it kept flashing, and my biggest fear of making videos is to accidentally give someone a seizure and their family sues me. Not like they would get much out of me, but still. You know what Ape Escape is known for aside from the main game? Great minigames, and here you only got a single one, Gacha King. Billy, we all miss you. It's obviously fun people who have to go way too early. Here you create your own cards based on the background, frame and monkey you pick. The frame and backgrounds can be pulled through Gacha, yay. So better collect all the stars in the game so you can spend it like this. Feed your addiction. What's actually the point of a Gacha game without hot girls? There is no point. Then you use those things and the monkeys you have caught to combine them, and depending on what you pick they got more HP, damage and all that, and you have to flip the card over. This is the minigame. It's as boring as it looks like. A rare Ape Escape minigame miss. Maybe it's because I don't like playing card games much except for Mau Mau, the superior version of Uno. Even though Mau Mau came first and the people behind Uno stole it. And yes, the game actually runs on the same engine as Ape Escape 3 and the reused assets and all that, but you won't mind, because why would you? Ape Escape 3 is one of the best looking games of all time after all. It's just so clean and perfectly has this early 2000s anime in a video game feel to it. Imagine an Ape Escape 4, how it could look like nowadays. I have begged for a new Ape Escape in all of my Ape Escape videos, so this time I won't do it. But what if someone from Sony sees this? Please do it for me, pretty please, a random guy on the internet, please. Aside from the linear levels and the easy difficulty, it just felt so smiley to play. Especially with the soundtrack also being amazing, since it's made by Soichi Terada again. Another reason why Ape Escape 2 was less good than the others because he didn't work on it. And after this game, he also never worked on another one really. How? How are there no game studios out there who think, yep, let's get that guy to make music for us? Maybe he just turns them down since his heart belongs to the apes, mostly. It's Ape Escape through and through. Even if you got no net to catch them with, and the jump the apes do when trying to smash the helmet on can be a bit finicky, but the net also sometimes would give you those moments where you thought, come on, I actually landed it, but I didn't, so it's fine. I know, I mostly talked about the bad aspects of it, but it's one of those games where it doesn't really matter because you will just have a jolly good time. Am I even allowed to say the word jolly despite not being British? You know you're not playing a masterpiece, but it does not matter to you. You just want to feel young again when catching some apes and enjoy your time instead of looking for things to complain about, unless you want to also make a video about it and need to fill it with words. If I wouldn't make videos, I would have just went, yep, that was fun after beating it and that's it. And that's what you will be thinking too most likely. You won't analyze it too much, I think. So go play it, it runs perfectly on an emulator. Or order it if you want to play it on a real one since the PSP is region free. Even though everyone just homebrews their PSP anyways. I know what you are, we are both in the same boat. With that said, I hope you will have a good day, a good night or whatever fits your time zone. For a short time in my life I finally felt happiness again, because nothing makes me more happy than Ape Escape. Now you might think, if that's true then why didn't you play this earlier? All I can say is that, don't ask so many questions, sometimes it will come back to hurt you. This is not a threat, so no worries. Bye bye.